a look at this married Tennessee cop, Maegan Hall. As some of you may know, Maegan Hall, she was recently terminated from her job for being involved in multiple affairs, and we know of at least 6 of her fellow officers, and I think a couple of them were actually sergeants. I think it was Sergeant Lewis Powell, Sergeant Ty McGowan, Officer Juan Lugo, and Detective Seneca Shields. They were also terminated from their jobs. And there's 2 officers, Officer Maglico, I guess that's how you say his last name, and Holiday, and a Schwarberl, and those 3 were suspended from the job for their involvement in this scandal. Investigation into the alleged affairs began around mid-December after the Mayor Jason Cole, he received some information from somebody and asked the city's human resources director to take a look into what was going on. Well, the investigation found that the officers that I mentioned just a minute ago, they were engaged in undisclosed physical relationships both on and off of the clock. So some of you may say, who cares? A lot of people care. Taxpayers care. You know, this is those taxpayers' dollars hard at work. You know, just something that should not happen on the clock. And there's actual video footage showing some of this as well. Now, the report, it mentioned that some of the encounters took place at a football watch party hosted by some of the officers, and they did engage, of course, in alcohol, and they discussed involving their wives alongside Maegan in private activities. Let's talk about Maegan Hall for a moment. Who exactly is Maegan? Maegan, like I said a minute ago, she's the former cop, and of course she made headlines after being terminated from her job for having affairs with those other officers, sergeants that I listed earlier. But she is married. She's married to a former state park ranger, and he's the son of a pastor. Now, the officers involved with Maegan, they claim that she said she was in an open marriage, but that her husband allegedly looked upset after he saw his wife kissing another man during a party. Now, according to an article, I think it was in the Daily Mail, it was Jediah and Maegan, and I think it said that they were actually college sweethearts, and they tied the knot in, and I'm sorry, that's her husband. They tied the knot in November of 2018, and they bought their first home together just in March of last year. Now, reports from an internal investigation, it says that Hall allegedly tried to involve her husband in her little escapades, but apparently he wasn't on board. So I don't know, you know, it doesn't sound like he was really on board with this open relationship that she claims he was on board with, this open marriage. You know, some, I guess it works out for, but many, it just doesn't work. But Maegan, she grew up in the Tennessee area, and it says that she actually wanted to be an actress. But I actually did read, or I saw a video where maybe on her Facebook page, she was working for a pharmacy, and she was actually quitting there to go to work. She was accepted into the police department. But needless to say, we'll see where all this goes.